Joining us now to talk about big tech censorship is former undercover operative for Project Veritas and former Facebook insider, Cassandra Spencer. And for those of you who love American history and love random tidbits, Cassandra Spencer is sort of like our James Amistad of the Revolutionary War. He was a black freed slave who worked as a double agent for the Constitutional Army and in the end won his freedom with the Patriots fighting for liberty and justice for all. So, without further ado, Cassandra Spencer.
Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon. It is my honor and pleasure to be here to speak to a group of patriotic Americans from all walks of life. A lot of you probably don't recognize me, and believe it or not, as Savannah said, that is intentional. Because up until 3 weeks ago, when some of our friends in the media here decided to blast my identity all over the place, I had been an undercover journalist until earlier this year, exposing issues like voter fraud here in Texas, exposing corrupt politicians like Beto O'Rourke and Bernie Sanders. People ask me all the time how I got into that line of work. And you see, in my case, is that this profession really chose me. You see, in 2017, I was working just a few blocks from here at a Facebook facility in Austin, Texas, as a contractor. And I was just doing my job when all of a sudden I started to notice odd notes on conservative people's accounts. I was just doing my job, and then I saw it once, and then I saw it again. And I noticed that they were issuing a deboost command against prominent conservative pages. People like the Daily Caller, Steven Crowder, and Mike Cernovich. And this was all done without these pages' knowledge. But conservative voices continued to become so prominent on platforms such as Facebook, they could no longer just do things behind the scenes. And they began to ban some of the most outspoken voices on social media. And I will now say the names of some of the banned. People like Alex Jones, Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Loomer, who's now running for Congress in Florida, Gavin McInnes, and the Proud Boys. They all vanished. It's so rampant, now there's too many of these people who have been banned for me to even list. But to Facebook, even banning these big personalities still wasn't enough. It was not enough to stop the free exchange of ideas of the American people. And so I noticed that they wanted to silence everyday Americans. Raise your hand if at some point you have been subject to some form of censorship by big tech, whether it be a shadow ban or a quote-unquote community guidelines violation for simply expressing your views. That's what I thought. While I still worked there, I uncovered documents that outlined how they planned to censor wrong thinkers, like the people here, by labeling them as quote-unquote trolls. That was in 2018, but now in 2020, they use the label misinformation, when they are the ones who mislead the public through censorship and through using their algorithms to control what you can or cannot see.
Say it again.
They are affecting our daily lives, and if you think that they are not affecting our elections, you are wrong. While I was an undercover journalist, I went on to have dinner with a Google executive who talked about how Google could not be broken up through antitrust legislation. Otherwise, smaller companies would be charged with preventing, quote, the next Trump situation, end quote. Jen and I used to work on the Orwellian-sounding trust and safety team and said, quote, we've been training our algorithms. If 2016 were to happen again, would the outcome be different? Did I miss where we, the American people, decided that companies like Google and Facebook should have any role in determining the outcome of our elections? But now let me tell you what makes the difference in this fight. In the medical fight, in the fight for fair and honest anything. Whistleblowers. Brave individuals who are willing to come forward and share the truth with the American people. And you don't even have to go it alone. I didn't. I said, if you email veritastips@protonmail.com, or if you can't remember that right now, come and find me on social media, come and find me after this, and I'll point you in the right direction. Project Veritas has helped countless insiders, such as myself and other whistleblowers, to tell their stories. Whistleblowers are as diverse as the crowd here is. The next whistleblower could be another big tech worker, or it could be an honest teacher who sees something amiss going on in their district or with their teachers' union. It could be an honest doctor who notices that there's something off about what they see with COVID on the ground versus what the media has been telling them. It could even be an honest journalist who doesn't like the partisan hackery that is going on at their publication. And it could be the honest cop who connects with their community, does the right thing, but when they have the courage to speak out, they lose their job. So if you see something and you do nothing, are you not part of the problem? And some of you may not be in the position to blow the whistle, but I challenge those of you who aren't, what are you doing to support those who are? People, these brave whistleblowers are oftentimes risking their livelihoods, their reputations, and in some cases, their lives. Support them. Be brave, do something, and reach out to me or directly to veritastips@protonmail.com. Thank you.